Today in Augusta, we honor those lost in the Searsmont explosion with community processions.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. I'm Garrett.
I'm Leah.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Augusta, Maine. First up, honoring Searsmont explosion victims, community processions planned. In May 2023, an explosion at Robbins Lumber, a large mill just south of us, led to multiple casualties. Among those killed was Assistant Fire Chief Wayne Woodbury. Today, there will be a formal procession transporting Woodbury's body from Augusta to a funeral home in Belfast, and firefighters and first responders from mid-coast communities will line the route to pay respects. Another victim, Jacob Spaulding of Montville, will be released from Maine Medical Center and head home. The state ruled the blast accidental. Investigators linked the cause to an area near the base of a silo, the big storage tower, for bulk materials. Several people are still hospitalized. It's a stark reminder: industrial work involving heavy machinery and complex systems carries real hazards.
Let's get to the heart of it. Processions like this matter because they let people show up. Families, departments, neighbors. It's solidarity in motion, right? And for first responders who choose a life of running toward danger, community support is, honestly, a lifeline. Why do you think the procession piece resonates so strongly with people, Garrett?
Because it turns grief into presence. It gives folks a clear way to honor a life of service. It's ceremonial closure. And seeing the turnout from multiple departments says we've got each other's backs. If you're along that corridor from Augusta toward Belfast today, you'll likely see engines and ladder trucks posted in salute. It's a visual thank you for a job that's, not gonna lie, incredibly tough.
Okay, let's move on. Next up, federal judge mandates restoration of altered national park signs. A federal judge in Massachusetts, Judge Angel Kelly, issued a preliminary injunction, a temporary court order while a case continues, requiring restoration of national park signs and exhibits that had been changed under a Trump-era directive to remove language considered disparaging. Conservation and historical groups sued, saying edits removed history and science, including climate change and the realities of slavery. The judge emphasized inclusive historical narratives. In plain terms, you can't tell America's story by cutting out major chapters or voices. The policy touched sites like Acadia National Park here in Maine and Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia. The ruling highlights that tension between historical accuracy and political narratives, the facts of the past versus the story some leaders prefer to tell.
Yeah, that checks out. History works best when it's transparent. Signs and exhibits are like our public textbooks. If you trim out science or tough truths, people lose the context they need to make sense of, well, everything else. Not gonna lie, it's pretty striking that a ruling with national reach includes Acadia. That's our backyard, and it's a reminder that local places carry national stories. Let's switch it up. Next up, Carabasset Valley and the Penobscot Nation, a path to reconciliation. Back in 2017, the Penobscot Nation, a federally recognized tribe in Maine, closed about 24,000 acres of its land in Carabasset Valley to public recreation due to disrespect from outside users. That closure rippled through the region. Local ATV and snowmobile club memberships dropped. Now in 2023, new zoning laws were adopted to allow more homes on tribal land, which could be a step toward rebuilding trust. Quick definitions. Zoning laws are rules that say what can be built where. Sovereignty is a community's right to self-govern. The relationship had been strained by debates over who makes land use decisions, the town or the tribe, and those bigger state and federal debates often shaped local feelings. There's also this surprising point. Carabasset Valley's opposition to certain tribal sovereignty legislation helped push the tribe to close access in the first place.
We've got layers here. Land, culture, and daily life all intersect. When people feel disrespected on their own land, closing it is a protective move. And when a town and a tribe find ways to build housing and share a future, that signals repair. Why did zoning become the bridge here, do you think?
Because homes create roots. Housing ties people and resources together. It's concrete, literally and figuratively. If both sides see benefits, like stability and investment, it's easier to keep talking. I'm down for that kind of pragmatic step. It's, something you can build on.
Moving right along. Next up, black flies, the tiny terror of Maine's trails. Western Maine is in the thick of black fly season, and these little biters can turn a good hike or run into basically a dash for cover. They breed in clean, running water, so brooks and rivers are hot zones. Even when the weather looks friendly, you want repellent and protective clothing. Long sleeves, light colors, tight weaves if you can. Insight to keep in mind, black flies are attracted to carbon dioxide, which is the gas we exhale, body heat, and dark clothing. And here's the curveball. Even with certain forecasted conditions on nearby Mount Washington, black flies still made their presence very, very known. So yeah, plan ahead, especially near streams.
Totally. Preparation is half the battle. Light shirts, a hat, and if you're really sensitive, a head net is not a bad move. You can still get the miles in, just with a smarter strategy. Wild how that works out. The smallest critters can dictate your entire day outside. Last up, Bangor Airport's runway, a legacy of military might. Bangor International Airport started life as Dow Air Force Base, and in the 1950s its runway was built to handle B-52 bombers, long-range, heavy military aircraft. At the time, it was the longest runway east of the Mississippi River. The base closed in 1968. The next year, the city reopened it as a civilian airport, and the runway is still among the longest in the country. Insight: JFK Airport in New York surpassed Bangor's runway length in 1960, but Bangor's history still shapes what it can handle today. That mix of military legacy and modern civilian use is, not gonna lie, engineering meeting everyday life.
That one gave me chills. Infrastructure. The big systems we all rely on, like roads and runways, carries stories. Bangor's runway speaks to strategy, Cold War-era planning, and now practical travel for Mainers. It's a past and present snapshot you can actually drive by. Thanks for joining us on Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in Augusta. Have a great day, and tune in tomorrow.
So there we have it, folks. Stay safe out there and stay curious.